Ever wonder what a pro trader's day looks like? I'll take you through every trade and decision a day trader makes. So we're going to start out early in the day. Now, one thing I do like to say is, I get up at 4 a.m. Eastern every day. I'm kind of crazy, but you don't have to get up that early. I mean, I know a lot of stocks do move in early but you guys are busy. You're not full-time like I am. You got jobs, you got kids, you got things to do. I like to say the market really starts about 8 a.m. Now, earlier is better. Okay. Like, again, you got more time. It's a little quieter. You can get the work done. But I just kind of see a fallacy out there that you have to get up crazy early. You don't have to. I choose to because I like to take my time. I like to work out. I like to do a bunch of stuff. I don't like to be rushed into anything. So that's why I get up early. But the market really opens traditionally at 8 a.m. Some of you might know that a lot of brokerage accounts don't even let you trade before 8 a.m. 8 a.m. You should probably change brokers if that's the case, but it's the fact that you can't trade before 8 a.m. So you'll see a lot of volatility, a lot of volume start to come in when all the brokerage accounts come online. We call it the 8 a.m. shakeout. But also the news flow really starts at 8 a.m., especially when we're talking small cap stocks, big runners. They know to time their press releases when there's the most eyeballs. Again, you might think they're just releasing their news when it's hot off the presses. No, these stocks, they time it properly. They like to release it in after hours because they know there's lower liquidity. They like to release it into the 8 a.m., 9 a.m. window so they get max exposure and max eyeballs. So once you come in at 8 a.m., start running your scans. We've got a bunch of amazing scans in stocks to trade. We're looking for those low float gappers, those weak open red to greens, those day 3 surges, all of those stocks that are trending up, whether it be a day 1 move or multi-day moves. Then once you get those stocks from your scan, most of the times the scans are going to return 4 or 5 stocks. Then you want to run them through the gauntlet. And when I mention the gauntlet, that's that day trade worksheet that I have. I know a lot of you guys have used it. A lot of you love it. I get a lot of comments, but it allows you to take those 4 or 5 stocks or maybe more, depending on how busy the day is, and actually run them through what's called the OODA Loop: observe, orientate, decide, and act. The scan is observe, the worksheet is orientate, then you decide, and then you make the trade. But by using that worksheet, you can go from maybe 20 stocks down to just 2 or 3 that have the criteria that we look for. Now, I've got a lot of other videos talking about all of the details of that worksheet. Or if you're interested, you can hit the link below and check out the daily income trader system where we use it every day. But then once you've got those stocks, you start looking for patterns for entries and exits and start building trade plans. So once we head into 8:30 Eastern and then into the market open, that's when we really look to start, putting some trades on. 8 a.m. to 8:30 is really the observe phase, the observation phase, the plan building phase. All of your trades, when it comes to those big pre-market movers or the multi-dayers, you should have plans for all of those. You should be looking at key levels on the chart for entries, support levels for stops, and then mapping out profit targets as well. Doesn't mean you'll always hit your target, but it's good to have a target so that you know when to take those smart exits for profits, okay? And what that does is allows us to put on all that pre-market prep, as we call it. So now we've gone from scans, we've had time to read the news, we've had time to look at what the big cap and mid cap stocks are doing, because a lot of these small caps are sympathy plays that move with the big names, and we've been able to do that in a disciplined, relaxed, non-panicky situation. A lot of people show up at 9:30 and they just start, spraying and praying, okay? Throwing stuff at the wall, hoping it sticks. So by preparing in advance and using past data as well as the worksheet to filter out those stocks, then building trade plans, we can start managing our emotions and reacting to the price action instead of our hopes and fears, okay? You got to keep as many emotions out of it as possible. Then as we head into the market open and even better into 9:45, if you're a brand new trader, then you're looking to execute. Okay, you execute those trades if they follow your plan. You're not FOMOing, you're not chasing, you're not just running all over the place. So now let's assume you took one of those trades, you're in it. How do you handle unexpected news or unsuspected volatility? Okay, a lot of that has to be done through manual management of positions. Now, I know I always talk about stop losses. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you've probably heard me say have a stop a billion times. One trap that a lot of people fall into is they think I mean setting a physical stop, and that's not what I mean. What I say about having a stop is that's a level on the chart where if the stock breaks through that support level, you take it off. Doesn't mean if it tickles it with a little, one print, okay? That's where a lot of people fall into traps because they have physical stops and the market makers just run them. You have to manage your positions real time. Now, that doesn't mean become a bag holder or break those stop losses, but you're watching level 2, you're watching level 1, you're watching the 5-minute candle so you don't get spooked out by one little quick wick, and manage that position through the day. Then, when we come back to that afternoon session, we kind of repeat that all over. Now, we look at different patterns in the morning than we look at in the afternoon. Mornings, mostly dip buys, or morning panic dip buys, dip and rips, week open ready greens. Then we come back in the afternoon and we're looking for those afternoon breakouts, those VWAP holds, and a couple other patterns that I go over every day in the daily income trader system. So then we trade those into that 2 p.m. window, okay? So the key times for entries, 9:45 and 2 p.m. Middle of the day is more about managing positions that you're in or reacting to positions that you're in. Then we execute later in the day into the 2 p.m. window. Then, as we segue into 4 p.m., the market close, I know it's tempting in after hours. I already cautioned you about pre-market. I would double caution you in after hours. Crazy moves, okay? And so many of the after hours gappers just dump immediately. Now, what I recommend doing after the market closes is you're running your after hours gapper scan, which we have built into Stocks to Trade, and you're only doing 2 things in after hours. You're observing, building a watch list for stocks that did gap in pre and held up for tomorrow. Okay, you're just like, whoa, this one ran in after hours, but still held up. That's going to be on my watch for tomorrow. And then the other thing you're doing is just exits. Okay, and when I mean that, if you took a 2 p.m. mover that was strong into the close, takes off in after hours, you take the exit. You don't get greedy. Okay, especially if it's a massive move in after hours, good chance it's going to fall off the next day. I mean, these stocks can't go up forever. So after hours is observation. It's looking at the news. Why is this stock moving? Does it held up? And it's just for exits. If you're new or even intermediate, I would tell you no entries in after hours. No entries. Exits and research only. Then what I do after about that first 10 or 15 minutes of doing that, because most of the news drops right after the close, could be earnings, could be press releases, etc. Then I go into the journaling phase. I actually did a video about this a few weeks ago, but 4:20 p.m., a lot of people made some jokes about 4:20, but I chose that time, not because I'm smoking weed. I chose that time because it's basically after that 15-minute busy period, and that's when things really settle down. But at 4:20 p.m. for about 15 years or longer is when I journal, track my data, review all the trades of the day, roll over my watch list. Okay, having rollover watch list is very important. And then I mentioned this, but coming back to it, journaling. Okay, people hate it till they learn to love it. Write down, how did you do today? What did you learn? What did you do right? What did you do wrong? Now, it's not fun, but it's so powerful. What I recommend is a minimum of 750 words, stream of consciousness. Okay, I don't care if there's punctuation in there. I don't care if there's capitalization in there. I don't care if every other word is spelled wrong. You're getting your thoughts out and you're getting them wrote down, whether you do it on paper or in Evernote or something like that. And I don't care if you ever read it again. You can do you can ask Grok or whatever. There is proof that journaling helps you learn. And what so many people do, they just walk away from the market and they don't even remember what they did that day. They don't remember what their emotional state was, what their energy levels were, what their preparation was. They're just like, it's over. I'll come back today. So that's the life. Now, after that journal's done, I'm done for the day. Okay. I know a lot of people that sit around watching all this after hours craziness when it's just probably going to get you in trouble unless you're experienced. Like, my thing is, enjoy your life. Okay. Like, a lot of you have hobbies, you have kids. I mean, the whole point of trading is making money from something that you can do from anywhere just by clicking a few buttons. Don't turn it into some crazy, crappy 9-to-5 job at the insurance company. No offense if you work at the insurance company, but like, the whole point of trading is freedom to do the stuff you want to do. And if you want to sit there and watch a bunch of random poppers and waste your life until 8 p.m., I'd prefer to just get that work done before 4:30, close my laptop, close the journal, come back and do it all over again. So that being said, what part of this daily routine do you find most challenging? Spoiler alert, I think a lot of you, whether you answer in the comments or not, you're going to say the journaling. People hate it. It's just one of those things that people fight me, and then they start doing it. And then a few weeks or a few months later, they're like, I wish I would have listened years ago. So let me know in the comments. And when it comes to this routine and the OODA Loop and the worksheets and the scans and the patterns, that's the kind of stuff I go over every single day in the Daily Income Trader system. So if you'd like to join me every single trading day, haven't missed a day in 10 years, hit that link below. Check out the Daily Income Trader system. Would love to work with you every day.